Hello and welcome to the Capability Advisor web assessment tool. Today we'll be looking at the content provider panel. The content provider is pretty straightforward. As the name implies, is the person, the role inside the team that provides the content, namely the process assessment models and the dependency checks. Usually you won't do this too often, but first, when you set up with the tool, there might be some additional process assessment models or dependency checks you would like to insert. So let's jump right in. There's the insert domain, pretty easy. Demo PAM for tutorial. And we'll just copy that since it's a little faster, and domain has been inserted successfully. Now, it notes that no units are linked to this domain, which is of course, we haven't inserted any units. So we work through this pipeline. We choose our demo PAM for the tutorial. We insert a identifier DEF. Unit title is defense of PAM. And for the video, and let's say maybe we made a typo there, which will come in handy later on. So yeah, as I said, we would work through this. We choose our unit, we add an element to this element, we add performance criteria, and so on and so forth. Now we can also edit. There's the unit, for example, since we made a typo, let's call it a typo, for the video, so we can edit it later on as well. Maybe don't forget the full stop, update the unit, perfect. Now, this is quite tedious. You would not want to insert a whole process assessment models, a proper one, through this functionality. It's mainly for inserting smaller things and not for a whole model. So you can also do a Excel-driven import and export. We can export the domain data. For example, let's say we export this. I have already inserted something to use beforehand, so it's a little faster for us today. We export, takes a little second, and now we open it up. And we're inside. So that's how it looks. It's very easy. There's the unit identifier we see here, then there's a description. In this case, it's a little search and replace version of sys2 of the ASPICE 3.1. And we can now, for example, if we don't want ABC to be in here, we do the same as I did before. Instead of ABC, we do EDF, for example. And everything is replaced, and now we can save it again. If you want to insert a domain completely new, you would need to delete all the IDs here. If the tool finds any IDs, it will try to update what you currently have. If it doesn't find any IDs, it will just assume you want to insert freshly, and it will just insert them into the tool. Close this, and we can then import domain data, search for it. And now I've selected the file that we created before, upload. And we choose a domain. There's the demo PAM for tutorial, import, takes a little second, finished, and it's done. And we can check maybe through this, so you can see the UI. So we have DEF. Oh, I forgot, it's the wrong domain. We demonstration PAM, that's where we imported EDF, perfect, EDF 2.1 and EDF 2 BP1. Perfect. We click edit, and then now we can check, to specify the EDF term. It's the system, and I've replaced sys with ABC and then with EDF. It's basically the sys2 process of EuroSPI 3.1. We could add some things here if you have specific things you want your assessors to see, and then down there just update and you're done. Also, the same way it works for the dependencies, the consistency check that we know from EuroSPI 3.1. We just demonstration PAM. For this, we obviously don't have any dependencies. Maybe we can go to 3.1, the normal one. We click export, takes a little second. And now we see all the rules, the consistency check for 3.1 that we all know. ACQ before must be bigger or equal to ACQ for BP2 in terms of rating, of course, and then you can see the rule here noted. You could, of course, edit those if there's a little mistake here or there, or if you have your own rules to add, you can add them this way as well. And then same way as before, import dependency, throw your file in there, choose the domain. We can, for example, we can import the rules to the demonstration PAM, submit, and we're done. After you've done, we can also use the browse domain feature to check, similar to how we use the edit performance criterion. And then there's also the settings. Just for convenience sake, there's a theme chooser for the dark mode lovers. You can switch to dark mode if you will, and then can happily work in your content provider. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.